Okay, today we got a Cat D5 and blade is over, sensors on that side. Hey, this looks like my install. Yeah. So they're saying electromechanical failure on the blade. Yep, that's my install right there. Certainly is. So one thing to check out is any pinched cable or anything like that. And this all looks good. It's all protected. It says it'll go green. The sensor will go green, but then cut into red. So, and the one question you want to ask is, how's the GPS on it? Or do you lose GPS connection? Because sensor and GPS, they work together. So we'll check here real quick. Probably gonna have to take the floor up just to double check the cables underneath. They can come apart. See what happens. Alright, so we got sensor now. And the values look okay. They make sense. Got updates. Well, I'm not seeing it go out, so what I'll have to do, I'll pull up the floor, jiggle with the wires, I'll pull the cover off, jiggle the wire, just see if it's a cable issue. He says it immediately goes out and goes red. It's not doing that. So, interesting. Now we'll let it sit and cook for a little bit. We'll leave it on. I'll pull the floor up, pull it cover, and took the cover off. We got a little bit of rock going on up in here. Getting wedged up in there. I don't know if it pushed on that cable connector. We'll disconnect that and we'll actually fiddle around with it a little bit and see. You can see a little bit of movement on that, not much. With that secured like that, it shouldn't really move, but you see it went red. I bet you we got a bad cable or a bad wire in there. I'm gonna take that off, take it apart, and take a look at it. Yep, blade IMU Electromechanical. Still has values. That means it's still getting power, hence the red light. It's still getting power. So because there's like 8 wires that go to that, right? You got your black, which is your ground, your red, which is your positive voltage, and then you have your negative signal voltage, positive signal voltage wires. So we can see on here that we have signal. We have to just determine, and it has power because the light is on. So we have to determine what is causing the blade IMU Electromechanical. Now, I have seen where the body sensor could cause this too. And you want to watch these numbers and see if they just move kind of funny. the body main fall slope is moving, cross slope is moving just by 1, and the blade is pretty much standing still except for the slope. Alright, yeah, I'm going to stick to my original plan, open up that connector and take a look at those wires. So I didn't see anything going on, no issues, so I decided to put another sensor on. Oh, I know that light is impossible, and the light is green, blinking green, so we might just have a bad sensor. This one's probably under warranty. This is a pretty new install, so in that case, if it's just a sensor, we can easily just recalibrate it and away we go. You see the blade cross slope on that? Negative 1410.1. Needs to be calibrated. Alright, that really changed that body main fall slope too. And we're just looking for life, not calibration precisions or anything. Let's see if it holds. We'll let this one cook on there for a little bit. Yeah, just a sensor going bad. This one's staying alive, so brand new sensor on there, and we'll button it up and then we'll just recalibrate. Measurements stay the same. We'll just recalibrate that sensor. We got to calibrate its slope, its what do you call it? Its maximum position, basically. I'll show you. Alright, ready for calibration of that sensor. Basically take that blade and get it square to the machine. Take the cross slope of the body, the backside, match the blade to that cross slope, and enter it on the first calibration screen. We're sitting at a negative 0.5. The blade is also sitting at a negative 0.5. Let it cook. Might have to do that again, huh? That is odd. That is odd. Let's bump up the RPMs. See if that doesn't help. Get the blade initialized. That's what it was. Interesting. Does not want to initialize. Alright, so brand new sensor will not initialize, and you see how the screen is going crazy all over the place. If you look at the values, they're just going nuts. You see that? And I've restarted, so only other possibility is that it has a bad cable that caused the sensor to go bad. So I'm gonna take the floor out, put a new cable on it, test it that way. We'll shut the system down so I can do that. Alright, so I isolated the original cable, put on another cable, and now we just have to find, that's the start of the Y. This is it right there. Alright, so I don't need to unclip anything. And you remember how to tell? The one with 4 wires coming out is your body. The one with 8 wires coming out is your blade. Alright, so we just need to tap into that one, test it. Alright, here we go. We got our test cable on. It's actually going to be, if it is the cable that's bad, it will probably be down on that one, right on that spot there, maybe in the connector itself. As you remember, there were a lot of stones there, and as those stones get pushed up in there, they could move that bulkhead cable just enough, or maybe they hit something or something. Who knows? You just never know. I don't see any damage on the hydraulic protective hose, but that doesn't mean anything. You see how thin these wires are. I mean, they're just super thin. It doesn't take much to break it. Even if you just impact it, it changes the resistance on it considerably. Alright. And there we go. We're initializing. Interesting. So, a bad cable caused the sensor to go bad. Nice. Let's start it up. Oh, let me get my tools off there real quick. Start it up and help it initialize. So we got initialization. I'm gonna shut the system down because I gotta replace a cable. Luckily, I installed this one and made it super easy. The only hard part is getting it through that little spot. You gotta, it's got 3 bolts on that little piece right there. I think what I can do, cut the head off of that and just pull the cable through. Usually if you just take off, and this is how I install them for this purpose, try to keep this system as straight as possible here. Take that P-clamp off, take that green clamp off, pull that cable straight, and you should be able to pull the cable through by taping and tying the other end to that one there. So we'll give it a shot. Shouldn't have to take out any of this hydraulic hose, shouldn't have to take off the bolts, shouldn't have to do any of that stuff. Just pull it on through. Alright, I'm sure you've seen me use this trick before, so we're just going to pull this cable right through the protective hose all the way up into the machine. And don't forget to put a little string on there. That is the backbone. Tape will stretch and rip that string line. That's some tough stuff. That should stay there without any difficulty. I have ripped them before, which is unique. Tie that string line to both ends and lay your wires out straight, in line, flush, and wrap it up. Start pulling. Alright, cable got pulled through nice and easy. No difficulty there. And there's my other end. I'll just take and disconnect that. This one, I had snipped it right down here, so all I have to do is tape this to that and I can pull it through the rest of the way. Nice, huh? Alright, I got all that secured except for this spot here, which I'm going to put the old sensor on and test that, so I'm not going to secure it. And I got this end of the cable taped on, so all I need to do is pull it through up into the... Alright, so new cable secured and connected. Let's start the system and make sure what I did works. Yeah, I'm not perfect. Sometimes, you know, I get these wires backwards. The yellow and the white That's common for me to get backwards, especially on older cables where they look the same color. I don't know if I'm colorblind or if it's just, you know, the cable. But, come on. There you go. We should have good connection, good initialization. I'm pretty sure that cable was bad at that connector. It's the only place that it looked like the rocks got up in it, you know. 3DMC, max initializing. We want to make sure. Oh, that's right. Codes. Why do these machines have codes? It's probably not going to do it on its own. I need to go find somebody to get a code for this machine. Good grief. Code accepted. I guess that's to keep kids from jumping on the equipment and going for a joyride, but that's no fun. How many kids can get on a dozer and operate it? Safety. There it is. Alright, now we need to test the old sensor. The original sensor. So let's do that. Well, that's a good sign. We got a green light on it. Alright, this should be fun. Try to initialize that blade with that sensor sitting there like that. Don't fall down. Go nice and slow. It popped in there for a second. It doesn't hold. Doesn't hold. Alright. We'll have to keep that new sensor on there because that sensor's bad. Alright, let's get back to calibrating. Square the blade up, get the slope with the body. Alright. Good grief. That's pretty close. Actually, it's not. There we go. That's moving like it should. Even though I said 5. Let's do the main phone. Alright, as you see, it says negative 5.7, which is way off. I'm actually at, let's bump up the RPMs, negative blade is 0.0%. Make sure it looks good. Sometimes they're a little wonky. And you see it's off just a little bit. So we'll set, we'll do a 0.3, and that should bring us to 0. There we go. Beautiful. That's what we want. Finish. Next. This one you just set straight down. I need 2 hands. I'm going to angle the blade to the right all the way, hold the hydraulics, push next. Do the same thing to the left. Hold the hydraulics, keeping it flat. Hold the hydraulics, push next. I'll try to video it. That does the limit of the sensor. It's maximum. Now that calibration is done for the blade. Let's just bring it up, raise it all the way up, get that to 0. And it was on 0. I just moved it a little bit. There we go. And just go double check. Very good. With the level, it is 0.0. Sensor's calibrated, sensor's remounted. This machine's ready to go back to work. Nice. Make sure we're still green. Yes, we are. Beautiful. And we are done. This one had all the updates, so I don't have to do any of that. Get back to work. Just check the grade, make sure the blade was matching the model. And on the right side, it was 1/100ths difference. On the left side, it was perfect. It matched the Rover perfectly. So that's good to go.